Give me a reason, I'll sing you a song. I won't try not to think that I can. Oh, baby, when I have you, oh, you're ready for my friends.
A live picture of the Mario Cuomo Bridge. It is 7:52. We're listening to Bruno Mars. I love for so many reasons, but also he was born in my hometown of Honolulu, Hawaii. Fun fact. All right, crowdfunding of effort is underway to save an iconic art installation at the entrance to the Hamptons. The Stargazer has fallen into disrepair. CBS 2's Carolyn Gussoff reports the man who built it 30 years ago is offering to restore it. It's a landmark you can't miss at the gateway to the Hamptons. A once proud sculpture named Stargazer is showing its age. Its steel bones exposed, storms have torn away at its red plywood skin.
I feel pain, like for the sculpture, we put a lot of effort into it.
3 decades ago, David Morris built the 50-foot structure with his own hands, designed by his longtime companion, artist Linda Scott. In her memory, he's on a mission to save it.
It represents coming to the Hamptons. They've reached the sun, the beauty, nature.
He's offering to rebuild it stronger.
I have a relationship with it. I've been out here painting it. I've been on ladders. I've almost killed myself on it. This will survive. For sure.
The Schlosses of Manhattan
What would you
donated
do
to the
with
cause.
what's
Everyone
in
took closer to the Statue of Liberty. When they come at you, we all like feel sitting on the leased patch of a private sod farm because it was too big to safely be installed on a highway. Stargazer has become fodder for debate for decades.
To me, it looks like a deer looking up, but my children think it's a chicken.
Morris explained Scott wanted it to be abstract, but had in mind a deer with an antler in its mouth gazing toward the stars. After outing hunters,
The Stargazer, the antler, represents victory. Whatever you go for, whatever your talent is, go for it. Because if you don't, you'll never know and you'll have a regret.
Morris's goal is to raise $100,000, and he believes with volunteers' help and some donated material, Stargazer can live on land the owner has agreed to lease for at least the next 50 years.
She'd be delighted.
He hopes Linda is gazing down with hope and pride. In Manor, Long Island, Carolyn Gussoff, CBS 2 News. For a link to the GoFundMe page to save the Stargazer, you can head to our website, cbsnewyork.com. It's under the links and numbers section. Well, if you've had some extra time in front of the telly with your little ones during the pandemic, you might be watching Peppa Pig. The British series is a big hit among young TV viewers, and it's been influential in a surprising way. Can we have a dog?
Of course. It's fine.
It seems, thanks to Peppa, some kids in the U.S. have picked up British idioms and even British accents.
Good boy. I eat cake. What are you eating for breakfast?
An expert we spoke with says it's a phenomenon that's all in good fun.
I've seen it in my own daughter when she was watching Peppa Pig, before the pandemic, and she would bring in these wonderful little words. It's really interesting to see, but there's really no harm.
Peppa Pig has been entertaining young fans since 2004. It is 7:56, much more still ahead, including the push to get more people vaccinated.
Now that I know, I realize how important it is that everybody get this vaccine.
Hear why this woman changed her mind and decided to get the shot. We'll be right back.
The CBS 2 weather team. Together we'll keep your forecast up to the minute.
Hi, it's Dr. Dave Chokshi. Each morning, I review with care and concern a report of New Yorkers hospitalized due to COVID-19. I'm grateful that there are far fewer hospital admissions now than there were just a few months ago, in large part due to the safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines. Now, almost all admissions occur among New Yorkers who are not vaccinated. This is preventable suffering because vaccines help us develop immunity without disease. I know that some of you have been waiting for the right time to get vaccinated. Here are 3 reasons why I believe that time is now. First, recent COVID-19 cases in our city are increasingly even more contagious strains of the virus. This makes it even riskier to delay vaccination. Second, COVID-19 can lead to life-threatening complications, but also long-term effects on the brain and body, even for younger people. And third, it's never been easier to get the vaccine. It's available for free at hundreds of locations around the city. You will not be charged for the vaccine, even if you don't have insurance, and no one will ask about your immigration status. Your decision about vaccination is a serious one, but it's also about joy. For instance, getting vaccinated helps you enjoy travel more safely, to visit the people and the places you love. The bottom line is that vaccination equals protection. Don't delay it any longer. Your health could depend on it. For more information, speak with your healthcare provider, visit nyc.gov/vaccine finder, or call 877-VAX4-NYC.
From Studio 46, this is CBS 2 News.
So is there a delay?
Tragedy in Queens.
Great,
A accident kills a mother and daughter and leaves 4 others hospitalized. Booster shots for COVID vaccines. As the Delta variant spreads, some could get another dose in the near future. And going for the gold, Team USA starts racking up medals.
Is there a delay?
Good morning, approaching 8 a.m. on this Sunday, July 24th.
There is a delay.
Well, much more on our top stories in a moment. First, to check on your forecast.
Really delay.
Live outside the CBS Broadcast Center on Manhattan's west side. Doesn't look bad out there, John.
Okay.
I'm still very close to it.
Feedback.
But we're just outside. You know, it doesn't feel that bad now, but remember, we're going to be dealing with a little bit more heat today and ample humidity. You definitely feel the humidity. That's why it's always great to come outside. Numbers around the area, well, we've got some pretty comfortable numbers right now. Still the upper 60s, 68 in the city, and out in Brookhaven as well. We have a 68 Danbury, a popular reading, pair of 6s for White Plains. 2 points, though, they're on the way up. Temperatures for most reporting stations are a little warmer. 2 points are higher. In fact, that's really the most pronounced change from yesterday. So this extra available moisture is going to contribute to the risk of some storms. Right now, just a few pop-up showers west. Clearing out that lighter rain east of the city expands the view. There's all the ingredients are out there for these strong to potentially severe storms later today, and numbers are going to be just a little bit above average. What it is, though, it's that extra humidity. So we'll time that out for you. And Eagle Eye, Cindy Shu. First thing she said this morning was, "Ooh, I like that tie." There's a very important reason why I have my red, white, and blue on. Not only my tie, but on my socks as well. We're going to talk about that. Something very important going on today. Right now, I'll get my mail and send things back to you in the studio.
John, thank you. Now our top story, a car crash ends in tragedy in Queens. A mother and her 10-year-old daughter are dead, and now a driver could be facing serious charges. CBS 2's Christina Fan joins us live from the scene in Jamaica. Christina?
Good morning, Cindy. The impact of this crash was so violent, it knocked the rear tire off of this Nissan Altima. You can see all the airbags inside are deployed. Officers say the driver was not only speeding and intoxicated, but he also had 2 young children in the back seat when he crashed into a mother and her child, killing them. The mangled remains of this fatal 2-car collision were so jarring, it stopped people in their tracks. Crushed to learn a mother and her 10-year-old daughter died.
I felt really messed up because I said, I hope ain't no kids in the car. And then I found out that there was kids in the car. Mother and the daughter died, and I don't know how they walked away from that.
Police say an intoxicated driver behind the wheel of this 2018 Nissan Altima was speeding westbound down Rockaway Boulevard Saturday night when he collided with an eastbound Chevy Cruze trying to make a left-hand turn onto Guy Arbor Boulevard. Police say the 31-year-old mother, Diana Grenobles, and her 10-year-old daughter, Isabella, who were in the Chevy, suffered severe trauma and could not be saved. The passenger side of their car was completely shaven off. Police have arrested 42-year-old Tyrone Absalam, the driver of the Altima. In his car were two children, a 12 and 16-year-old who suffered serious injuries, as well as a 38-year-old woman now in critical condition. And Absalam faces multiple charges, including assault, manslaughter, as well as driving under the influence. Officers say what happened here is unfortunately not an isolated incident. They say people speed up and down Rockaway Boulevard all the time, well in excess of 100 miles per hour. Unfortunately, this time it led to a very costly accident. We're live from Jamaica, Queens. Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina, thank you. A 4-year-old remains hospitalized in critical condition this morning after falling 10 stories from a balcony in the Bronx. CBS 2's Karen Dillon reports from the Parkchester section.
Hours after the child fell 10 stories in the Bronx Saturday, concerned neighbors gathered around the apartment complex where it happened, many filled with questions about what police are calling a terrible accident.
I just heard all the ambulance and police cars come in. Did I hear people screaming?
The incident happened at this apartment building on Noble Avenue near the Cross Bronx Expressway around 2:30 in the afternoon. Police say the boy lives there and was home with his mother. She was in another room and called for him. When he didn't reply, she walked onto the balcony. That's when she discovered he had fallen. Neighbors say an off-duty officer rushed in to help.
An officer was in the building. He ran down and gave him mouth to mouth. The ambulance came, threw him in the ambulance, and hopefully he made it at the hospital. Yeah, so at this moment, we don't know if the kid made it or not.
It remains unclear what led to this fall, but police say it's possible the balcony door was broken. Meanwhile, they say the boy may have been on a chair when he went over the railing.
It's heartbreaking. I got that kid myself.
Karen Dillon, CBS 2 News. Police say the boy suffered serious injuries to his entire body from the fall. Neighbors say they're all praying for his full recovery. Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Jersey City. It happened around 11 o'clock yesterday morning on Grant Avenue and MLK Drive. Police responded to a call of shots fired and found a man with wounds to his upper body. The victim, 26-year-old Raquan Bass, later died at a hospital. So far, no arrests and no word the victim was the intended target. A nurse is murdered on Long Island, and now police are searching for her killer. Her family says she spent many hours working the front lines during the pandemic. CBS 2's Corey James reports.
We're just distraught. We're just broken.
I want justice for my sister. She don't deserve it.
This Long Island family is grief-stricken. Their loved one, 46-year-old Sandra McIntosh, murdered not far from her home in Medford. Suffolk County Police say she was found stabbed about 4 miles away along Woodland Avenue around 8 o'clock Thursday night in Holtzville.
Someone heard her scream, help, help, and call the ambulance, and they picked her up and rushed her to Stony Brook, where she passed away.
Sophia Kane says her sister died at the same hospital that she worked at as a registered nurse for 5 years, including countless hours treating COVID patients during the height of the pandemic.
She gets letters from patients.
McIntosh's family left trying to understand how this could happen to someone who they say had a heart of gold.
Sandra's amazing. She's just so giving, loving, like she's happy. She's a great person. Like, for this to happen to her is not right. She'll give you the last. That's the type of person she is.
Lit candles and flowers lined the street where this mother, daughter, and sister to 4 siblings was found. A sight that brings too much pain to her son, who has a message for the killer.
Out of respect, turn yourself in.
The entire family echoing that same sentiment,
You will get caught.
hoping the person responsible will be arrested and brought to justice.
You can run, but you can't hide, and God is not sleeping.
And police are not releasing specific details about this deadly stabbing or information about a suspect. However, family members tell us that person is someone who their loved one knew. Right now, authorities are looking for McIntosh's SUV, which is a white Lexus RX 350. In Holtzville, Long Island, Corey James, CBS 2 News.
Now that the coronavirus pandemic, as COVID cases continue to climb, the push for vaccinations is also growing. CBS 2's Dave Carlin has more on that, plus new information on whether some people may need booster shots.
The only way we're going to get rid of this thing is for all of us to do this.
A first shot of the Pfizer vaccine finally happened Saturday for Gail Tweedy of Parkchester, the Bronx. She was weighing her options for many months.
I waited because I had COVID and I had little blood clots in my fingers and my toes, and I was concerned with some of the vaccines.
The 71-year-old told us it was the Delta variant and increasing numbers of cases and hospitalizations that convinced her.
I'll do whatever I need to do to keep my family and friends safe.
On her way to get her shot inside the basement of St. Helena Catholic Church, she used this shortcut through the center of a street fair hosted by Father David Powers and his congregation. Here we found Jatan Webster and her daughter Jalea and son Juju. Mom works in healthcare and is fully vaccinated, but the kids at 9 and 3 years old are too young for COVID vaccines.
It is confusing. You know, a lot of people around me don't have it or don't want to get it. So,
But what do you tell them? Because you have gotten it.
yes. Well, I just told them I was fine.
The vaccine push intensifies even more, adding to it the backing of booster shots for some. Some Biden administration health officials increasingly think vulnerable populations may need booster shots. There is no recommendation yet, but it could be on the horizon for those age 65 and older or who have compromised immune systems.
I got mine back in January, so I've already been almost 6 months, with it. So for me, if it's going to be a case that the CDC is really recommending it, I'm probably going to follow it.
As the federal government considers the booster question, it is exercising an option with its contract with Pfizer to purchase another 200 million doses for delivery this fall and in the spring of 2022. In Parkchester, the Bronx, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
The Justice Department will not open a civil investigation into the COVID-19 response at nursing homes in 3 states, including New York. The DOJ was looking into whether requiring some COVID-positive patients to be admitted to nursing homes contributed to deaths. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn is still looking into Governor Cuomo's handling of the policy and his administration's reporting on the number of deaths. Cuomo has denied any wrongdoing. Dr. Joe Biden is in Hawaii this morning after attending opening ceremonies for the Olympic Games. It's her first solo trip abroad as First Lady. She was greeted on the tarmac yesterday by local officials, including the governor, who presented her with a lei and gifts. The First Lady is scheduled to make a visit to a mobile vaccine clinic at Waipahu High School today, located just west of Honolulu.
She is the First Lady of the United States of America, and certainly her adding her voice to all of the local voices, I think it's just one more powerful message about why it's important to be vaccinated.
Dr. Biden is also meeting with military families before heading back to Washington later today. Coming up for the first time in Olympic history, surfing is now part of the games. How one surfer is gunning for the gold after a recent injury. And John Elliott will be back with another check on the forecast. You're watching CBS 2 News Sunday morning.
Where's my controller? I don't wanna be a fool in this game for two. So just be no I whatchamacallit, why can't I? I'm relaxing. Huh? I'm not doing nothing. What's the issue? Why do I have to sit in my room? Why can't I sit in the hallway? Whatchamacallit? I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. I don't understand what the issue is, Tasia. I don't understand what the issue is, Tasia. What's the issue? What's the issue? Okay, so I'll sit on the other fucking chair. What's the issue?
Stop fucking talking to me.
Quit.
Bitch, who the fuck are you talking to? Michael,
I'm having a bad day.
I don't give a fuck. I will bust in your fucking ass.
I'm having a bad day.
Then talk to your fucking self. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to.
Obviously.
I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. Bitch.
Why can't I?
Fucking
Why
quit. Nigga, fuck you.
aren't I
Fuck you.
entitled to
Don't say
having a
shit
bad
to me.
day?
Don't say shit to me.
Why aren't I entitled to a bad day?
Then stay in your room and stop talking shit.
I
If you
wasn't
have a
talking
bad
shit.
day,
I was
lay
just-
down. Lay down. Close your fucking door. But eavesdropping is gonna make you even more in a fucking bad day. I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna sit here and have chairs on this motherfucking hallway. This hallway is not big enough for that shit. You stay in the room when you go outside. That's the fucking.
I shouldn't have had the chair in the hallway. I'm sorry.
I don't know who the fuck you better think twice. Who the
I'm
hell
sorry.
you talking to?
I'm sorry.
Like, I don't have nobody pull up this motherfucking house. I do not need this fucking job.
T,
And
I'm
that's where y'all
sorry.
found the fucking mistake.
No, I
will
understand.
fuck you up and I'm not playing.
You didn't even want
Shut the fuck up and don't say nothing to me. How about that?
to. I'm sorry.
Don't say nothing to me.
Can I apologize?
No. Fuck your apology.
Ugh.